Here's what we called our 5 cities tour. We did this in 2 weeks. We started in Berlin and then went to Prague, 3 nights each. That was in the previous video. Then we went to Krakow and Vienna and Budapest. Krakow and Budapest were 4 nights each, and Vienna only 2 nights. We took a train between each of these cities, and it was neat to see the countryside on the way in between.
We got a really cute little apartment in Krakow, and it felt kind of old style and pretty modern at the same time, but the loft was a little bit short where Julie and I slept, so we kind of had to crawl around up there. There was a lovely little promenade here, and in the distance you can see the Wawel Castle, aka Krakow Castle, where this dragon, Wawel, supposedly lived, and apparently this dragon ate overżanki. That's like the national bread item there.
Here's a 3D relief of the old castle up on the left there, and then the old city wall around the main part of the town. Now that wall is gone and has been replaced by a huge walking green space which encircles the old town.
This is Krakow, Poland, and it has such a brilliant design around, like the perimeter of the old town has this green space. And there's so many people out enjoying it. And in addition to that, they've got parks like everywhere, and people sitting there in hammocks or playing sports and just enjoying life. It's really a very green and well thought out city.
We just happened to be in Krakow on Constitution Day, and there was a big parade up at the top of a little hill that had Krakow Castle on it, and we all got like huge Poland flags, so it was pretty sweet.
Okay, here we are in Krakow, and we happen to have landed on Constitution Day. So we got flags, and we are ready here outside the cathedral for the parade to start. It's gonna go all over town. Woohoo! No, this is the first time we've seen a city from a parade perspective. We seem to be in the parade. We've got our flag. And we're walking with everybody else, leaving the castle and following the group of people who are in the Polish parade.
It was so funny to be part of this moving parade of just regular people, and everybody had a Polish flag. It was pretty cute, actually, how everybody just got a flag, and then we walked down the streets, and we ended up at the main square.
Dad and I went down to this underground museum that was directly under the main square, and it was underground because that was the level of the roads and the streets and the houses a couple hundred years ago. We were just shocked how high and built up the city is today, like a whole story above where it was back then. And under there was a huge path to walk on and reconstructed streets and original streets they dug up and then just made into a museum, and this is a little blacksmith hut reconstructed.
While the boys were underground in the museum, Julianne and I were up in the square, and we discovered this the first bookshop in Europe. So apparently this bookstore is the oldest bookstore in Europe. It was founded in 1610, and Krakow is known as the UNESCO City of Literature from 2013. Here are some of their famous authors in this mural. And this is the oldest bookstore in Europe. That's so cool. In fact, that printing press we saw in the Technical Museum in Prague is newer than this bookstore is. That the printing press is newer? Well, the one that we saw, the original one, was from the 17th to 18th centuries. Even though the first printing...
all the books that would have been here would be handwritten?
No, because the first printing press was made in 1440. But that one that we saw was a newer one. It's a new one. It was only from the 1600s, you know. Pretty cool. And there's a plaque over here that commemorates that it is... I can't believe that, the first bookstore in Europe. It seems incredible. But I will prove it. There's a plaque right here. in this building, Europe's first bookshop, founded in 1610. And here we are in Krakow main square.
We went to this cool museum. I think it was called the Ethnographic Museum, but it was pretty much just a museum about the way that people lived in the 18th and 19th century, I'm pretty sure. It's pretty cool to see how they lived. I think these were some of the better homes, and they made a lot of stuff that we got to see, the machines.
This is the Ethnographic Museum in Krakow, and this is a reconstruction of a home in the 1920s and 30s. Here's a video explaining the felting process. So that water lye and ash is heated up and the fabric is put into that trough and banged. The fabric is pressed, thickened, and then it shrinks to get extra warm. And here is the building where they would have done that. And this building is actually burnt, like it's authentically burnt. So there's the fire. Would heat up the water with lye and ash, and the fabric would go in here, and the teethed gears would turn back there, and then this wooden thing would bang down and smash the fabric to turn it into felt. That would be really noisy working in here.
The olives into the wood so much.
Yeah, good call. This is how they make oil. Somebody would stand on this side to lift and drop this pounder. They put the olives in there and then pound them to make oil. Wow.
We ended off at that museum seeing these beautifully hand-painted eggs, which is going to really raise our egg painting game come next Easter. After that, we walked over to this airy and beautiful and massive art gallery, which had a whole bunch of paintings, mostly pre-Renaissance. But it also included this, which is actually a mosaic made up of who knows how many tiny little pieces, which we thought was quite impressive. This art gallery is famous for two pieces. This is Lady with an Ermine by Da Vinci. And this is our first ever Rembrandt painting, which is a beautifully stormy kind of sky with fall colors.
We found a lovely little park, so we rented these scooters and we scooted around the park, as in me and Grayson. It was very fun on these electric scooters.
Now you may see this photo and think this might be like a pretzel or a bagely type thing, but no, you would be very wrong.
Way to make obwarzanki outside of city of Krakow. These bakers, as it is today, would be called fake bakers. And you have to remember it because sadly today we have still fake bakers. It's not illegal anymore to sell fake obwarzanki. It's very common to find this on the streets of Krakow. And these fake obwarzanki are basically obwarzanki without any certification. These are not handmade in the local bakeries by the bakers, but made by the machines outside of the city. Also, fake obwarzanki aren't as good in quality as the real one, so it's very important to you. It is very important to you to know how to recognize the real obwarzanek from the fake one. Luckily, you'll be experts in that case in a few minutes. Before I can spill all the
Making proper obwarzanki, we learned, was a very intricate process with lots of little details. First, you have to roll out the dough, which of course she already had cut up for us. And then you get your two strings of dough and you kind of twine them together and you pinch the tops together so they kind of stick. She gave us these handy little name tags that we slid through. And then this is the key. This is how it's different from bagels or other things, is that you put it in 70-degree water for 10 seconds and no longer. And then you bake them.
A big no-no here in Krakow, so you cannot do that. All the toppings should be savory. Some new toppings are a little bit more fancy, like we like to add chili flakes or cumin seeds to obwarzanek, something like that, but they still are always savory, not sweet. And after that, I can put obwarzanki into the oven. The temperature should be from 250 to maybe 200 and from 200 and 40 to maximum 250 Celsius degrees. So be careful because it can be hot.
And what kind of salt? Is that just sea salt?
Just sea salt, yeah. Sadly, it's not from the local salt mine because it's not working today, but it's the regular sea salt.
So here's a first. Krakow's all kind of firsts here. We got, seeing a city from inside a parade procession on day 1, and here we are day 3. And we've downloaded some app and figured out how to scan these scooters, and now we're scootering around into our favorite park.
We found a really nice, great big green park that we spent a lot of time in, and there was a huge field and a little forested area, and it was really good for riding our scooters around because there was lots of paved open paths.
Here's one of many parks in Krakow in the evening. It's a busy park. So many people out enjoying this beautiful evening. I really like how they've left the grass in between the trees, just like wild weeds. It's tall and looks like they don't cut it. It's a great idea. Look at many people just having relaxing times, not even picnics, just hanging out. It's really beautiful. Hammocks, families. And there's my family.
Then we took a train from Krakow to Vienna, and like all the other trains, of course, the land was very, very flat and lots of farmland, but still we had great views throughout.
From there, it was off to beautiful Vienna, crossing the mighty Danube River. And in Vienna, we really wanted to focus, of course, on the music scene and also an ancient and stunning library that was in the city.
Here we are in Vienna, and we are going to see one of the most beautiful libraries in the world in State Hall.
And here it is, often considered one of the most beautiful libraries, not just in Europe, but in the entire world, and we couldn't agree more.
Okay, this is the Austrian National Library in Vienna. This is Austria's largest library and one of the world's most beautiful libraries. It has 12 million items and 200,000 original books. In 1368, it was the Imperial Court Library, and it is built in the Baroque style. It's considered a Baroque masterpiece. This particular room was built between 1723 and 1726. Okay, here we are in Austria's National Library. Super cool and very old. It's got the painting thingamajig up there. And all these bookshelves are numbered. Which is pretty cool. And I think this is pretty cool. It has trapdoors. And they lead to more bookshelves. And they're all pretty much on every bookshelf. Down here there's one. And there's probably one over there. And there's one. Pretty cool.
The combination of all these statues and the super high ceiling with painted in frescoes and all the ornate pieces everywhere was just quite stunning. And then on top of all that, as if that wasn't enough, there's this illusionary painting. This is actually 2D, but it's made to look like a little balcony up there, and it was extremely lifelike. And it was neat how they mixed new technology with old. So this is a screen that you can zoom in on that frescoed ceiling and learn more about each little painting piece. They also had really old books that were handmade, pre-printing press. So it was neat to learn about the printing press and then come see some actual books that were done in the old style before Gutenberg. And then just on the side casually are these Coronelli, Vincenzo Coronelli, massive globes. And it was neat to see the way that they thought that the world looked at that time.
And here we are on our way to Haus de Musik, also known as the Music House. It was a very cool place. It had a lot of like interactive things. Some weren't interactive, but I think most of them were. Yeah. Also, we learned that Vienna was like the music capital of the world because of the super rich family called the Habsburgs. And because of the Habsburgs, Vienna also had all these amazing composers like Mozart, Beethoven, Schubert, Strauss, Brahms, and Haydn.
Are you selecting your shape, Julie?
No, it's Can you see it?
No, we can't see anything.
Do I look really stupid?
Well, it looked like you're in a virtual reality thing.
What the heck?
Okay, yeah. You've been selected. Come on, buddy. Come on.
Like red.
Oh, this is red?
Did the red one just get
Yeah,
here?
he's right there. Oh, he just went away. Wait, come on, come back.
Oh,
There
there
he
it
is.
is. Yeah, that was red.
I'm gonna go make one.
So the clongs that they just created now show up on this big screen to interact with the other clongs that people have created. The vibration waves are the background, I suppose, that are always there to be superimposed by the clongs people make. That's Julianne's right there.
To compensate for the higher cost in Europe, we stayed in places that had kitchens and we went to grocery stores and made our own food. But we did allow ourselves to go out for traditional food sometimes, and this was a delicious local spot in Vienna. Because Vienna is the music capital of the world, we thought it would be cool to go to a concert while we were there, so we looked into what might be happening. And there happened to be one at the Musikverein, which is this really famous concert hall. Apparently has the best acoustics in the world, they say, because of all this gold. That's like a gold plating that's over everything, and it helps to absorb the sound. Also, all of the details, they're actually like carvings, and so that helps the sound to bounce around. Even the statues are meant for helping the sound to be better. And the floor itself, where the musicians are standing, is a wooden floor over top of an empty space. So it's hollow and acts like the body of a violin or a guitar. It resonates. So it's neat to see how they incorporated features that would improve acoustics into the structure of the building while still making it beautiful. We're at the Musikverein Symphony Hall, called the Golden Hall. And it is known for having the best acoustics in the world. We're about to see Mozart and Vivaldi. Kiddos, how easy was it to find our seats?
So easy.
Was it? Yeah, really? What happened?
We went up every single stair that we possibly could in this entire building.
Like the ceiling's right there.
Oh, that's true. Yeah,
Yeah, the video
we're
really
at the back.
doesn't do it justice. It's like gold. It's actually gold.
It's actually gold. And this is actually a famous place. You can pay a ticket just to come in to see this in a tour. And we are going to see a symphony. In sharp contrast to all the music learning we were doing, I saw this World War II structure. It's an anti-aircraft building. meant to shoot down aircraft that was coming into the city.
As we were leaving the city, we realized we just missed Eurovision Song Contest, which just made us rewatch the movie. One thing we just loved about Europe, apart from the weather and the wonderful cities, was riding the trains. Beautiful views, air-conditioned, often with Wi-Fi, and we rode the rails in town too, like this cute little tram that we rode around Budapest.
We found this really great exercise park. It's in the middle of a huge green space, and we went there every day pretty much in the morning to beat the heat, and this was the view from the exercise park. So Julie and I spent a lot of time on the trampoline there. We ate at this traditional restaurant, and we discovered Hungarian goulash. That's all that needs to be said.
And we went to this festival thing, and they had all these super cute dogs. They were so cute. And we played some games there too. They had foosball and they had ping pong, and we played both. And I completely destroyed Grayson in foosball.
This is St. Stephen's Basilica that we're coming up to. This looks like a fancy kind of street in the downtown Pest side of Budapest. This is the Parliament building in Budapest. It is the largest building in Hungary. It was started in the late 1800s, finished by 1904. Has 3 kilometers of red carpet inside, and in the dome it houses the official crown and scepter or something that is guarded 24/7. It's pretty impressive. It's right here on the river. We are on the Pest side of Budapest, and so the Buda side is over there where the castle is. The Buda castle. I guess Buda and Pest used to be two different towns, along with Old Buda, which is further north, and they all joined together, I think, in 1873 to make the capital. So they've been together for a long time, but it's still called Budapest.
After dinner, we decided not to go through the noisy tunnel. Instead, we went up some stairs and tried to go over the tunnel. We ended up atop Buda Castle, that's the Pest side on over there, and that's the Parliament building, but it ended up pouring down on us while we were exposed, so we got pretty wet walking up and over the tunnel.
And then we were off. Next stop, Rome.